Sensei, welcome at our school. Um, Before we start our short interview, please tell us something about your martial art background.
I started Aikido in 1989 actually, and before I did Tai Chi and Karate just a little bit. I understood very quickly that this is Tai Chi was a little bit too slow. I found it boring when I was very young, and Karate stressed me too much, so they forced me into position and things, and so that was not something to me. I was looking for something. I did a lot of other sports, and the martial art I couldn't find until the moment I had a good friend who saw me dancing just in the evening. He said, "Are you doing some Aikido?" I said, "What is Aikido?" I said, "You're moving like as if you know this." And I said, "Yeah, please tell me something." And this was a karate master. And he said, "If you're interested in, try this one." And at the same time, my wife was also, in fact, she was doing it before and interested in before. And so I found the club in 1989. And the funny story about that is that this was a small club, and actually nobody knew how to do the things the teacher suggested us to do. And from the second or third lesson on, I was assisting him, even if I didn't do anything. So my problem in the beginning was to learn very quickly, because the others, they pushed me into the position of being an assistant. So the story began in 1989, and I started in a direction of, so my Shihan, my sensei was Tamura sensei from France. So very short Aikido, and based on also awakening the body through Aikitaiso movements and awakening the energy. We took 50% of time with these movements and 50% learning the martial art. And for me, as a young man, it was kind of difficult just to separate these two, and always wished to have more technical training, because it was so vast, so big, the techniques and all this stuff. And when I passed Shodan, I was thinking about where can I continue. So, and then accidentally I met Christian Tissier, that was I think in Mannheim, in 1991 or something, yeah. And then I asked him immediately, Sensei, could I come to Paris to intensify? And he said, yes, if you're able to, just show up and we'll see. And then the story with Christian Tissier began. In 1994, I moved to Paris for 1.5 years, studying with him in the dojo, and first experience to unlearn all the things I had learned till then. And let's say I did my Shodan once again. I relearned everything. That was difficult, but it was a second chance, or it was very powerful for me to understand from another point of view different explanations of all the basic techniques. And after moving back to Frankfurt, I was every week. I think it was Tuesday, Wednesday, in Paris, and moved there first by airplane and then by car all the weeks for 7 years. So, and during that time I had my own dojo in Frankfurt, and just building up the dojo, dealing with my students.
Thank you. Through this, you also tell us the effort and the dedication moving back and forth for 7 years to France.
Mm-hmm.
It's very inspiring to hear this, especially when some people sometimes say they don't have time to go to the dojo.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and what is your focus in Aikido? Why do you think Aikido is important as a martial art? What is the message there? The philosophy somehow,
Yeah. For me, the general feeling I had from the very beginning was that I really have to dive into that training and into that, not technique, but the whole thing, being really into it and understand it from within inside. So that was the thing, and because Christian Tissier always said to me, sometimes when I asked him, he said, yeah, you have to do your keiko, you are already in, don't worry. Because I was worrying, am I doing enough, am I understanding enough, should I do this and that additionally? For example, should I train some karate, should I train some judo or things in order to understand better Aikido. He said, it's okay, you are already in, just continue. And it's this physical approach to some to the development of the whole person. And every year I understand it differently. So the challenge is for me to always go deeper into the practice, the Keiko, and what does it mean, the Keiko, in order to have this authentic experience. What is my authenticity in understanding the principles of these principles we have in Aikido? How far or how deep can I understand them? And that's my experience. The deeper I understand, the more easy it is to apply. In fact, it's not applying; it's doing the same thing in another planet, on another, let's say, in daily life. So that's a big challenge for me. And another challenge is to widen my experience as a martial artist, and at the same time not don't give up the stability or the balance. So that the Aikido principles is most important. So I did lots of martial arts the last 15 years additionally, but it was always like an additional experience. I always did Aikido when I did Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, or I also did some capoeira or Jeet Kune Do or things. But not in order to do another martial art, but to have like a mirror to understand my Aikido better. That's a challenge, and I think it is important to stay focused on the martial art. We're doing Aikido, and if we're interested in other things, not to do so much that it gets unbalanced. So that's really a challenge. And if you apply it to daily life, we have the daily practice or our Keiko, and then you have all these things going around with your job, your family, and your life like it is, and is it balanced? So this is, of course, a big challenge. It never ends.
It is the fourth time you have visiting the school here, Hadeland Folkeskole. What is your impression from the students? And do you think the practicing of Aikido here is different? Do you notice some difference here from other dojos? Because I know you do seminars in all Europe. So what is your impression?
The first time out here, I couldn't believe this place, because it's a really special place in a sense that there are young people having all their adult life, let's say, in front of them, and dedicating themselves to a period of time, 1 year or maybe 2 years, to really explore themselves, let's say, not to just go with this education machine which is waiting for them, but really working with themselves and use techniques and explore oneself, get to know oneself better. That is the way, the path, and never forget. So, because the power, or let's say the possibilities of forgetting this while getting older is very. It's often the case that we forget that the most important is understanding from within and understanding oneself, and not understanding the problems outside. Of course, that's good too. But if we have to decide between, the career or the success, just solving problems outside, or being in Aiki with oneself and the surroundings, it's clear where the path leads to. So that would be my advice.
Okay. どうもありがとう。
ありがとうございました。